always very exciting to hear what our students have been working on all year, and you'll see and hear a wide variety of topics and lots of different accomplishments. So again, thanks for being here. We're going to start off with JDeubler with the topic of student athletes and injuries.
Hi, my name is JDeubler, and I'm a senior here at Orange County High School. My project is Out for Life, the effect of injuries on student athletes. When deciding on what I wanted to do for my project, I knew I wanted to do something with sports, particularly in the athletic training department, as I've always had an interest in this department and maybe wanted to study in college. And I saw this would be a great opportunity to get some insight in this field before I go to college, and actually if I wanted to study in it. For my research, I really focused on the academic achievement and the long-term side effects on injuries on student athletes in high school particularly and in college. And when I found this, I did find that there was a profound effect of injuries in school and on their academics and on their long-term health. Injuries like concussions, fractures, sprains, strains, contusions, and abrasions sent over 1.35 million kids between the ages of 6 to 19 to their respective emergency rooms due to the severity of their injuries. This number doesn't even include the amount of injuries that were sent into the hospital, or the injuries by athletes that didn't even go to the hospital. Particularly with concussions, this was found to be the injury that had the most effect on their academics and long-term health, simply because a concussion covers a wide variety of side effects, including shortness or loss of memory, dizziness, drowsiness, and most importantly, the lack of concentration. And in school, concentration is everything. Concentrating on your schoolwork, concentrating on the teacher, concentrating on all of your schoolmates and everything. And with this lack of concentration, it makes it incredibly difficult for a student to do well in class, especially after suffering a concussion and its variability of side effects. For my internship, I went to Fredericksburg Orthopedic Clinic, and I interned with Mark Ford. Mark Ford is a physician assistant specializing in orthopedics, and his job is mainly to diagnose, provide a plan, and treatment for patients that come into the clinic, varying from different ages, from 6 all the way up to like 90, I think was the oldest lady that came in. And at the clinic, I sat in with Mark and listened to his interactions with the patients, including his actual diagnosis of their injuries, what we're going to do to make the patients better, and even studying how to prevent this from the future. A big part of the Fredericksburg Orthopedic Clinic is the x-rays and the different kind of technology that they do use to really zero in on the actual problem with the patient and to get them better. Main thing that they use is x-rays, like I said, and they study joints particularly. They also they look at the nerves in your neck, because there's a lot of patients that do come in with severe nerve pain, and they can't even sit down because of the nerves in their neck, and it hurts throughout their whole body. And while there, sometimes Mark would say, I don't feel like going to get this patient. Go get this patient and talk to them and see what's wrong, because I typically actually don't even like this patient. They're very annoying. And so I would bring them back and I would see what exactly happened to them and what their pain was. And sometimes they would ask me, he's like, oh, do you work here? I was like, no, I don't work here. I'm in high school. And some different kind of treatment options that we do use for these patients include PT, physical therapy, as in the clinic, they have a physical therapy clinic right above the actual orthopedic clinic. Other things like cortisone shots, which is a steroid that's injected into different kind of joints to help block all inflammation in different kind of joints, nerves, and tendons. And another thing we do is and Mark is also able to administer medication, different kind of pain pills, and so forth. Another thing that's rather interesting is when we typically think of a doctor's office, you think of the doctor files and everything that they have, but now they have this system called Dragon. And it's kind of like Siri for your iPhone, as Mark would simply talk to the device and it would put everything immediately into the medical files that can be accessed by any doctor that wants to pull up their file. And there's also different shortcuts. You could say X-ray, and you say what kind of X-ray was taken, and it would provide a paragraph of like over 1,000 words of what was done, so he doesn't have to continuously say it. But he also said it's very important, because if he doesn't do it, he doesn't get paid. So he always makes sure he does his observations. For my community service, I worked really closely with Cheyenne Mendonca, our athletic trainer here at the high school. And my community service really entailed of helping set up for basketball games and helping her out as she would have to go through JV varsity teams, boys and girls, of basketball teams that come in here. And it wasn't just simply by herself. I would set up in the gym, I would set up for the game and after the games. And along with my community service did come my legacy. And this was, I started a local t-shirt drive to help raise money for the athletic department, as she provides concussion tests for all Orange County athletes, spring sports, winter sports, fall sports. Every single student that plays athletes at Orange County High School typically goes through a concussion test. And these concussion tests she paid just for her, just out of her pocket. And these concussions are extremely important, as I said before, and how the ample effects they have on students and people after they're done playing, specifically like NFL players, stuff like that. As sometimes in the NFL now, is they have a strong addiction to painkillers due to these concussions after 20 years of playing in the NFL. So it is really important that we can really zero in on concussions and other kind of injuries at the high school level, so it prevents from the side effects that they have later in life and really stop any kind of pain that they might be having. And these t-shirts we sold for $15 a pop, and we sold over 40 of them for an excess of $500, $600 worth of t-shirts that we sent for the athletic department. So she also wants to buy a couple different rehabilitation, like bikes and stuff for us athletes here at Orange County High School, as we typically don't have that much money here. So I figured it'd be a great opportunity to raise some money and help her out. Also, t-shirts are $15 if you guys want to buy any. But anyway, I really enjoyed my experience during my Blue Ridge internship, as it really was eye-opening to me and helped me really zero into what I want to study in college. And that's to go to college and major in health sciences and hopefully get into PA school where I can become a PA like Mark, as I found it really interesting. And I really enjoyed interning there, as I did feel like I was working there. It's like, oh, this is my job now, but typically I'm still in high school, which is kind of depressing. Anyway, I'd really like to thank Blue Ridge and for the opportunity it gave me to really zero in on what I want to do with my life. And also the six digits that they're making is pretty awesome too. And advice I have for lowerclassmen Blue Ridge is don't procrastinate. All my classmates know I'm the worst procrastinator there is. I'm the worst one. This morning, I posted that picture at 1 o'clock in the morning. And another thing is to choose something you really, really like. Because when you choose something that you really, really like, it's not a project, it's fun. It's a fun experience, and it really helps you out for the long run and what you want to do with your life. Because life does go beyond Orange County High School, believe it or not. And in the fall, I plan on attending one of these 4 universities, as I'm still waiting for Syracuse and Wake Forest to study and become a PA, as that's what I really want to do with my life. And I really want to thank Blue Ridge, Ms. Carlton, Mr. B, and all the other Blue Ridge teachers for providing me with this awesome opportunity to really figure out what I wanted to do. Questions?
With everything that you learned, would you tell parents that it's still okay for their kids to play sports?
Yeah, I would say it's okay for them to play sports, but if they do get an injury, to not say, oh, you're fine, just go. It's a better idea to take them to the doctor just to see the severity of it, to prevent them from long-term side effects that they might encounter later in their life, even if they're only 5. Because if you break your leg, it could impact your life forever.
So, with your research, do you feel, so just from a teacher perspective, I feel like the last few years I've had students miss like significant amount of time in school due to concussions through sports. Just based off your research, do you feel like this is something we're just getting better at diagnosing and taking more seriously, like kind of how you're seeing in the NFL? Or do you think this is a result of like better technology, which leads to worse injuries? Like, is it something we're just paying more attention to, or is it something that's actually happening more?
I think it's something that actually is happening, and a lot of people, like I have a couple friends actually that have sustained concussions. They're just like, I don't want to miss playing time, or I don't want to tell anybody. So what happens is like when they suffer these concussions and they go to school and they miss significant time, it's like we are getting better at diagnosing, but typically these kids either don't go to get diagnosed, so they miss school and say, Mom, I can't go to school today, and they just simply stay at home. But the better technology can help these kids stay in school And that's a luxury that parents and other athletes should take advantage of because, like I said, with the NFL players, that people are killing themselves because of side effects of concussions.
Like retiring at age, what, 26?
Yeah,
or
like the
whatever
one
just
guy, the guy
happened.
that
Yeah.
is 26, he's had 3 concussions last year.
Instructor.